Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you've had a good weekend. Today, we're going to take a moment out to think about peace. Peace, it's a wonderful word and it's actually a wonderful concept as well. Okay, this is a quote from the Bible. This is St. Paul, and he writes this: "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone." Wow, that is it's quite a powerful thing. So that puts the onus on us, right? So it's down to the individual as far as it depends on you. Now, we're looking at peace at the moment because there's so many horrible things going on. We see it on the news. Sometimes we can be not at peace and we're worried about things, or maybe we're angry with somebody. But these situations are always going on. So I was thinking, as a Church of England college, what does the Bible say? The Bible is a holy book, and sometimes we just have to step out of the flesh, if you like, the way we naturally think, and look at guidelines from somewhere else. And the Bible is a really good place, actually, to look for peace and how to attain it. I think about the terrible things we've seen with the Grenfell Tower fire and all the upset, the pain that's caused, the anger that has caused. And I think in these situations, how on earth do you find peace? There's the continual political stuff that is going on and all the arguing on the television, and you think, how on earth do I make ends possibly come together in all of that? It's really quite crazy. So we need sometimes to just look for peace. Do you know what? I would like to say that there is no room, or we shouldn't ever make any room in our lives for hate. Hate never wins. It's never successful. It's always negative. And it may not be really terrible hate, but it can just be unforgiveness. It can be just holding a grudge against somebody else. And it's usually people who are close to us. So do you know what? We need to find peace for our families. In our family situations, there needs to be peace. Or with our friends and our friendships, we need peace. We all let one another down. That's part of being human. So we need to be able to forgive and just let things go. I'm always reminded, thinking of peace and letting things go, of my friend who's 94, fought in the Second World War. And he found out about two of his buddies who had fallen out. And he said to me, do you know what? Life is too short. That's what he said. It's too short. There's no point in letting these things get between us. That's from a 94-year-old. So it's worth listening to. Our workmates, we've got people around us all the time. So your classmates, that can be people out on the sports field. We need to have peace. Let things go. Let's not let these fights break out and just be worrying about things. Just find some peace. And with our neighbours, people who live around us. Sometimes you can have some really annoying people around you, but just let it go. Just let it go. It's not worth falling out with people or having a grudge. I think I've said this to you before, but if you have a grudge against somebody else, if you've got unforgiveness, if you're bitter about somebody else, it's like taking poison and waiting for them to die. It's ridiculous. It only gets you. It's really bad, really, really bad. But what about our enemies? I mean, it's quite incredible that Jesus said this. Now, this is thinking outside of the box. You've heard it said, love your neighbour and hate your enemy. That's kind of a natural thing that can easily come to us. People that annoy us, let's just hate them. But Jesus says, I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. If you pray for somebody, if you want a blessing on somebody, that means you want the very best for them. The Apostle Peter says this: all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. See, people have always fallen out. He's saying, don't repay that. Don't do that. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing. There you go again, saying the same thing. You want the very best for that person. Because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. So good stuff comes back on you. And it does. It really does. Whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech. Let's not gossip and backbite. That's just no good for anybody. It's really, really no good. And it says they must turn from evil and do good. They must seek peace and pursue it. See, the peace word, it comes in there time and time again. Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. That's saying that they will have the highest accolade. People who make peace, who bring friends together when they may have fallen out. We can be a part of that. We can really help people when they're falling out. And maybe we can be that person to say, look, life is too short. It's really too short. If it's possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Let's think about that this week. God bless you and have an amazing week.